Hey, what's up guys, welcome to another Flutter advanced tutorial, and in this video we will talk about the most awaited feature which you people asked me to integrate in any Flutter application, which is the search bar. Okay, and many of you I have seen that was struggling with this search functionality if you want to implement that in your application. And I don't know whether you know it or not that Flutter has some kind of implementation for achieving this material search bar. So that's what we will do in this video, so keep watching if you have no idea how to implement a better search bar. So as you can see here, I have a normal screen where we have this scaffold, an app bar, and an action which is saying search. Okay, with it is having a search icon, and on press of it I want to implement something which is kind of which can give me a search bar, and then I'll type something, I can get some data out of it, and those are the things which we can do. Okay, so what we can do here, we will go here and we will create a new class. Let me just increase the font size a little bit, maybe that can help. Okay, so font size could be 22. Yeah, this is looking good, and I'm going to presentation mode just so that you can see the screen as of now. So what I will do, I'll create a class, let's say data search. Okay, and I will extend this class with our search delegate which comes with Flutter. Okay, and I can just say it accepts a string as the generic type. And now if it will give me an error, it will say that you should be creating 4 missing overrides. Okay, so what I will do, I'll just press on it and it will create some overrides for me. Okay, now it is saying that this is the build action. Okay, so what is this build action? Let me just write here. So this purpose of build action is when I will have that search bar, what kind of actions I want to perform. Okay, so I can just write actions for app bar. Okay, then we have a build leading. Okay, so what you want to have in the leading part of that app bar. Okay, so we can say leading icon on the left of the app bar. Okay, and then we have build results. Okay, once before going to this part, let's go to this build suggestions. So what you want to show when someone searches for that particular in that particular screen, so you want to show something. So show when someone searches for anything, searches for something. Okay, and when he selects something out of that search suggestion, then show some result based on the selection. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. So as you can see, first of all we have to build some actions. Okay, so what we will do, and it takes a list of widget. Okay, so what we can say, we will return a list. Okay, that's clear. And now in the actions part, what you want to show, so let's say we want to show an icon button probably. Okay, and what it can say, it can say icons dot clear if we want to clear anything which is registered within the search bar. Let me just make it like this, and it should take clear. Yeah, and on the press of it, we don't want to do anything right now, but we will do that later. And this is the only action we want, so we are passing this action to the list. Now it is saying build leading. So whenever we will have that search bar, then we would like to have some back arrow with some kind of animation. So what we can say, we can say we want to have another icon button. Okay, where the icon should be an animated icon this time, and yeah, this looks good. And now it will take a few parameters as well. So let me just do this, and then it takes few parameters. What are they? It takes an icon and then a progress. Okay, and on pressed we don't want to do anything. And on for the icon part, we can say we have animated icons library here, from where we can get this menu arrow, okay, or it should be, yeah, menu arrow. And one second, what's happening, why suggestions are not coming, I don't know. Let me just, yeah, now it's fine. So we have this menu arrow, and on the progress we want to give some kind of animation to it. So once you will extend this search delegate, you will get another property. Okay, so you get some properties, let me just show you. So if you will press Ctrl O on your Android Studio or IntelliJ, then you will get this screen, which is the overrides. Or what you can do, just right click on it and there is a generate option, then override methods, and this same screen will appear. And here you can see we have this property, transition animation, another property is query, and then we have some other methods which we can use. One is show results, close, and show suggestions. Okay, so here in the progress we will pass their transition animation, which is a property which we get. Okay, and it should work. Now we are done with this build leading. Now we want something which is build suggestions. Okay, we want to show something in the suggestions part. So what we can do for that, so let me just go to the normal view now. Okay, and I have a list here which contains some cities information of India. So let me just try to go to that list if I can go. So what's happening, I don't know, one second. Yes, so this is the list which I will just copy here, and I'll paste it here with this data search. So little bit space here, let me just go back to the presentation uh, mode, and then you can see we have some cities here, which is just a list of string. Okay, and what I will do, I'll make another list of string here, which I can say, let's say recent cities. Okay, whenever you perform if you want to have a good searching user interface, then you would like to show some history to the user as well. Okay, so that's what I will do. So I'll just pick any 4 to 5 elements from here, let's say these 4. Okay, and you don't have to follow on this stuff, it's totally your choice if you want to do it. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm just hard coding it that these are some recent cities which he has visited, and there is a lot of option which he can still visit. Okay, and now what I want to do, when that person is asking for some suggestions, okay, when he is gonna write something in the search bar, I want to return something here. So let's say so as I told you that you get some properties out of it. So one was the transition animation, another property you get, which let me just show you again, is this query. Okay, this query is that property which is the text which user enters in that particular text field of the search bar. Okay, and we want that query. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to have another suggestion list, let's say suggestion, okay, what's the spelling, suggestion list. Okay, so how we can get this list? So if let's say the query is empty, so that means if the user hasn't entered anything, then what we want to show, we want to show our recent cities. Otherwise, if we had entered something, then we want to show the options from our final cities. So this is our cities. Okay, now we have the suggestion list. Now what we can do, we can implement a list view and we can show this data in the list view. Okay, so what we can say, we want to show a list view dot builder, then it will take this item builder where we will pass the context and index. Okay, and then it will ask what we want to implement, so we can say a list tile which we want, and then in the list tile we can have something called let me just close this, a leading icon. In the leading icon I want to show an icon which can be icons dot cities location city, this will look good. And then in the title part, what I can show here, I will pass the suggestion list here, and sorry, so first of all I will wrap it with the text widget, then I will pass a suggestion list here, and then I will use its index, and that's it. So this is how I will get that particular the string of that particular index. And then what we can do apart from that, we need to also give the item count. So we will ask for suggestion list dot length. Okay, and now we can go back to our normal mode, and now let's try to perform our search and see what we get. Okay, we haven't implemented this build results yet, but we will do that. Okay, so this is what we have now. As you can see, we have this search app bar, and here we have this search button, and on the press of it we want to do something so that we can see this show option. So one idea was, when you want to show a search bar, the one idea is that you will implement your own text field on the top of it, then you will do some decoration with it, then so you can implement it by yourself. But Flutter actually gives you a very good option of using this search delegate, and you also get this method which is show search now. Okay, it will take two things, one is the context and second one is the delegate. Okay, so in the context I will pass the context which I have, and in the delegate portion I can pass my data search which I just created. Okay, and yes, that's it, I guess. Yes, so I will perform the hot reload now, and now if I will press on this search icon, as you can see we have this search bar. I haven't implemented the text field anywhere. As you can see, I have just this list view which shows my recent and the suggestion list of the cities. So because I haven't entered anything here, so that's why we are getting this recent list. So if you see here, recent cities have this New Delhi, Faridabad, Rajkot, Ghaziabad, and this is the my recent list with an icon on the left and text on the right. Now let's say if I want to click on this cross, nothing is happening. This cross is actually our this build action, which takes a list of actions, and I have given only one action, which is this icon button which is saying just clear. Right now it is not doing anything. Then we have this back arrow, which is this build leading method, actually gives us this way of having this icon button or any widget which where we have created this animated icon. So is this doing this animation? Let's press on it, and right now it is not doing anything because on the press of it we are not actually doing anything. So what we can do here, so basically there are two things which we can do. So on the press of it, if I show you the overrides again, then we have something called close here. Okay, and then we have show suggestion and show results. So I just want to close it, so I'll call this close method. I'll pass the context, and in the result I don't want to pass any result, so I'll just pass null here, and we should be good to go. Then for this actions part, on the press of this cross icon, what I want to do, I want to say that query should be empty. Okay, when I press this cross, it will look good, I guess. Okay, so now if I will press this button, then you can see there was some kind of animation. And if how you can see that easily is when we implement, let's say, a drawer. Okay, so what we can say here, let's have a drawer so that we can have that hamburger icon on the this part. And now if I will press this search, then you can see there was some kind of animation which actually converts these icons. Okay, so it's looking good and you don't have to do much. Now if I will write something here, one second, if I will write something here, then you can see I got the whole list here. Now if I press on this cross, it is again, it made this icon. If I search it again, I press this cross button, then you can see it cleaned it and it is just showing me recent cities. And one more thing which you should see, that I haven't used set state anywhere, which is why, because this search delegate is doing everything for me in the background. So I don't have to worry about anything when I am using this particular portion. Okay, so it's looking good, but now let's search something. So let's say I want to search Agra. So it is not actually doing anything, it's just showing me the whole list, which I actually don't want. Okay, so we want to actually perform something. So what we can do here, we can we have this suggestion list, and we actually want to do something with this now, because we only want to show something which is actually happening there. Okay, what I'm saying is, just you will understand. So basically, whenever you search for something, we want to show those items only which actually matches that particular search string. Okay, so how we can do that? So here in the suggestion list, what we can do, we have these cities. Now for the recent cities it makes sense because query is empty, but for the cities, what we can say, we only want to show where. So we will apply a clause here, that cities dot where. Okay, where we can say our we have to perform an operation here. So we can say, let's say this is our string, so this p dot starts with this query. Okay, and then we can just say this and dot to list, and it looks good. So what I'm doing here is, rather than returning the cities, I am checking whether if this p is starts with this query, then it will give me a better idea. So let's search now Agra, and as soon as I pressed A, you got all the Agra or anything which starts with A, and if I'll just pressing it, then you can see I get this Agra, and this looks now much better. Let's write something else. Let's look into our cities, what we have. So let's try Jaipur, and as soon as I press J, I have this Jaipur, Jalalpur and Jabalpur. Then it's working fine. So now one more thing which we can do is highlighting our text. So we can even increase this user experience by how we can do that. Let's just copy this part, and rather than using the normal text, let's use something called maybe a rich text. Okay, so I don't know whether you are aware of it or not. So basically, rich text takes text span, and then you can make some part of a text bold or italic, or give some different colors to some portion of the text. So that's what we are going to do here. So this text is basically, if you will see, it takes a text span. Okay, so we will give it a text span. Okay, now this text span takes a text which is a string. So here we will just give the first let's say first element. So how we can show that? So in the text portion, what we will do, we will ask our suggestions list. Okay, dot I. Okay, dot substring. Okay, and we will bold, not I, it should be index. Okay, and we will bold only the portion which user have entered. Okay, so we'll start from 0 and go to our query dot length, and what we want to show this text to be bold. Okay, so if you are not understanding, you will just understand. So let's make the text style as let's give it a colors dot black, and what we can do, we can give it a font weight, and then we can say font weight dot bold. Okay, so what we did, now nothing is appearing here, don't worry about that. So what we are doing, we are actually taking the first letters which you will type, and we want them to be to look bold. Okay, and then we have another property here which I'll just use here. So after this text span, we have not after this, inside this text span only, we should have a children. Okay, this children again takes a text span. So we will use another text span here, and in the text portion, what we will do, we want to show other part of the string, which is suggestion list index dot substring. and the query dot length. So it starts from query dot length and we want to show it normal, like we don't want to apply anything like bold or anything. So we will give it a text style again, and now it should be normal. So color we will make it a little bit gray, and that's good. So now you can see we have these colors in the grayish way, which are the recent searches. Now if I will search, let's say n here, so you can see n is bold, and that's actually increase the usability of this search functionality, and you can see that this will give a better user experience to user. Now if I will search New Delhi, then you can see the text which I am entering is actually becoming bold. Okay, and this looks much better now. Okay, now this is done, and now what I want to do, when someone clicks on it, let's say I am typing Jaipur. Okay, one second, let's say I am typing Jaipur, and once I click on it nothing is happening. So in the list styles on tap method I want to do something. Okay, what I can do here, I can ask for show results. Okay, that's another method which we got. So let's just go here, and you can see we have this show results, okay, which takes a context. So what I can just say here, I can let's say, yeah, that's fine. So we can just say show results, okay, and we will pass the context here. That's fine. Now in the results part we are not doing anything. So what we can say, we can return maybe a card, a good card maybe. Okay, we can say, let's say color, we can give some colors to it. Let's say give it a red color maybe. Okay, then we can have some kind of shape. So let's give it a stadium border, maybe anything you want. And in the child, let's in the center, let's give it another text which actually just reflects the query. Okay, I don't know, you can implement it in many ways. Right now it does not make any sense, but just to show you what it do, it's something like this. And when I click on it, you can see J. Okay, I just press J. Okay, not a problem. Okay, so what's happening here, let's just remove this part, and let's wrap it with container probably. Let's give it a height and width. So height, let's say 100, width, let's say 100, and let's not try it. So if I will press search, I'll press on New Delhi, you can see I have this let's write something because it won't show anything otherwise. New Delhi, if I press on it, you can see New Delhi here, and then we can also make it in the center. So it's totally your choice if you want to show it, and it looks good. If you want to do some operations here, you can do it. Okay, and you don't have to show the query here. You can actually take what query you have, you can pass the data from here which you want to show to this particular build result. So this is the use case basically which I wanted to show you. If I'll just press this, go back, then I have this, then I have this search bar, I can search here and it looks good. Okay, I have this implementation, it looks bold and everything, it looks totally good. So this is how you can implement search bar. What I will do, I'll try to give you a better implementation of this using our Pokemon app. So maybe in the next video we will be doing some data fetching and using this search bar to search the Pokemons, and then we'll go to the next video about how to have some more features in the Pokemon's app. So if you want that, please let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, then do like this video and subscribe to the channel if you're not the subscriber, because I'm bringing this so much awesome content for Flutter here. And please press the bell icon if you want to get the future updates, and the source code will be available on GitHub. I'll post the link in the description, and join the Let's Flutter group on Facebook if you want to get more answer to your questions. And that's it, I guess. And go to GitHub, give a start to my repositories, and that's what I need. Okay, so if you enjoyed, then like the video for sure. Bye bye, take care.